Hi, you're face to face with Shell, and I hope everyone's doing okay out there. I know again I've not done a video for a couple of weeks, and I think this is just the way it's going to be going from now on. I do apologise. I know I used to do one every week, but it's not possible now. My primary progressive MS sometimes just dictates the way that my days and weeks go. So I do apologise. So I know I've spoken about fatigue in the past, but I just thought I'd do another video on it because it's really been kicking me. It really has. We did have some nice weather in Scotland. Wow. But unfortunately, it really floored me with it being hot. Now, if you are in other countries, you were like, huh, does she really know what hot is? And now when we done our backpacking travels, yeah, I do know what hot is. I think our hottest was 47 degrees. So yeah, I do know. But since getting MS, I just can't seem to tolerate the heat. Now, the heat in Britain and Scotland is totally different from the continent. In Europe, we have a more humid heat, and it seems to really go for me because when I was saying to Chris, look, I'm absolutely wiped out, and he said, well, the people who he works with, they said they were all saying they were absolutely wiped out as well. He said, so please don't just think it's not just you. He said, but obviously they're not dealing with MS as well. Now, some people with MS, when it gets hotter, they find their symptoms improve. But unfortunately, not with mine. It really doesn't. So it's cooled down now. So I'm starting to feel a bit more like myself. So I do apologise, and I do know it's been maybe I think 2 weeks since I've put a video out, but I'm sorry, it's just the way it's kind of going at the moment. And I want to conserve as much energy as I can because we've got a couple of really great things coming up, which I'll share with you when they're happening. Really excited. As they come up, I'll tell you about them. So how do I deal with the fatigue? I try to rest as much as possible. Now I know that that's not viable for a lot of people. You have things to do. Unfortunately, I can't work. So I've been retired off on ill health, but I know some people have to hold down jobs. They have kids, etc. So it's not quite as easy. But what I try to do is just rest when I can. And I know some people will say, oh, well, just go and have a sleep. It just doesn't work like that. You can go to sleep and you can wake up just as tired or even more tired. It just doesn't work like that. And then the next day you can wake up and you think, I feel better. I mean, there's sometimes my two legs, it really affects my left side of my body, especially my left leg, but it does affect my left arm as well. It gets tired, and there's times when my legs will just not move. They will just not work, and then you do start to think, oh, is this it getting worse? Is this it progressing? And then a couple of days time, you can wake up in the morning, you think, wow, I feel a bit better now. So, oh, sorry, I've just moved the camera. So who knows? It's one of these things you just never know what you're going to wake up with. Every day's a surprise. So if you are suffering, I'm so sorry, and I wish I had I wished I had a magic formula. I wished I had something I was able to tell you that completely works. But we all find out for ourselves what everyone's different. We do find out what works for us, and I hope you find out what works for you. And I just find trying to get as much rest as possible and going on my vibration plate really helps my legs. And I've just actually got something new, and it's like a little mat. and it sends electric pulses up your leg. Now, I will do a review on it. I haven't had it long, so I feel I've got to give it a few weeks, because I'm not one of these people who try something and think, oh, right, well, it's not working. You know, I've only tried it twice. So I want to give it a fair shot before I actually show you and do a proper review on it. But last week, my left leg was actually quite swollen down at my ankle, and I went on the mat for 2 sessions. So it's 15 minutes a session, and it went away. So I'm thinking this is going to be a good thing. Thank you so much for watching, and a massive shout out to my subscribers. If you haven't already, it'd be great if you could subscribe. And if you are, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're not missing out on any videos. It'd be great if you could give me a like, a thumbs up and a share. Remember, I do have a website. You can head over there. There's lots more information, help, photographs and advice. Thank you once again. Stay safe, stay strong, and we'll chat soon. Bye.